Okay, what's up guys, Robot here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to, it's basically a breakdown of this background which I made myself. As you can see, a lot of people wanted to know about the kind of graffiti text that you can see on it, and in truth it's not actually that hard. Basically this video will just be going through in Cinema 4D how to create this kind of text. I think it'd be too long to show you all the effects I've done on the background, although there aren't that many. It's mainly just a gradient which I've desaturated here. You can see it's blue. It's got a few clouds and it's got a pattern on it, and that's pretty much it. Like, the text is just rendered in Cinema 4D and stuck on the background, and that's where you go. So if we jump into Cinema 4D, you can see that I've got this kind of hole set up here. Basically you don't need the floor and the sky, they're just kind of handy. So I'm going to create a new project, and actually I want to open Grayscale Gorillas Light Kit. I'm not going to make the mistake of saying that you can have it for free in this video, but there are millions, well not millions, but there are a few hundred places where you can find it for free, so just look. Right, it'll be in Cinema 4D and lighting, and there we go. Okay, so I'll just wait for a while for this to open, and then when it does, we're just gonna open a preset studio which will give you all the lighting you need for this kind of graffiti text. Alright, so I'm gonna go with the top one, 3 Light Project Studio, which is in Studios, and then you can close this and you can delete all of these studio room and replace me's. Just delete them, don't need them. Go to MoGraph, MoText, and you want to type in whatever you want really. And go to the font, which is Raise 1 Original. Now this is a very hard font to find, so if you want the font, I will include the download link in the description and you can thank me later. So I'm going to go with height all the way up and depth all the way up, caps, fillet cap, whoops, fillet cap and fillet cap, and then you want to go to MoGraph, Effector, Random Effector, and don't worry if it's not laid out in the same way, just find Random Effector, they're all different. And I'm going to change the rotation because rotation is what you want, and then just bring the strength down a bit so it looks like that. And then I'm going to hit Control C or Edit, Copy, and then Edit, Paste, and I'm going to increase the caps, so 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, 9, I'll go with 10. Okay, and I'm just going to check what I've done on the other one because... Alright, so you want the blue, then black, and then white right behind. Okie dokie. Alright, window. So this one's going to be black, and you can drag that backwards a bit. You can go to coordinate and then just bring it back like that if you want. Alright, so when we've done that, we're going to create a material. Now I've just brought this one in because I want it to be like it was, and I can't remember the exact settings. So with colour you want 0, 71 and 202, which will give you a light blue. With luminance you want it to be on 0, 35 and 142, and bring the brightness all the way down to 12. Sorry if I'm rushing this, but at the end of the day you can pause it and 720p it and stuff like that, and just copy down these things yourselves. It will be a lot easier than me guessing, and it will give you better results as well. So with reflection you want to add a light blue, which is 0, 178 and 255, and then bring the brightness down to 11. And specular, if you copy down these settings, it goes 50, 20, 0 and 0, and the mode is plastic. And then if you drag this onto your MoText, so the original layer, and then if you create a new material, now these ones are just simple because you can just bring it down to black and add a luminance and reflection. Luminance, put a dark grey or light grey and bring it down, and reflection, I'll just put that at black as well and bring that down. Okie dokie. Alright, so I'm going to drag this black one onto Motext 1, which is the copy, and then you want to again copy original layer, go to edit, copy, and then edit, paste. And now with this one you want to drag it right back to the very back and add a white layer. So you can just go, I might add a luminance and bring it down just about 15%, and then drag that onto the one which you just created. And here I'm going to click this. If you go where my mouse is, it's on the left hand side, and there's a sort of column. It's the top of the column. It's an isolated button. If you just click on it, it will make every single letter individually editable. So now you can expand this and just click on the R, and you can move that up a bit, rotate it round like that, just to give it a kind of random effect. And you can delete some of the letters, like I'm going to delete the zeros or the O's, whatever, and just bring these. They don't even have to be where the letter is originally, just like that, that'll do. Just rough while I think of stuff around. So alright, now I'm going to minimize that group, and from here I have a few spheres on mine at the bottom. I'll do those later, but first of all we're going to create the bends behind the text. So I'm going to go to this one here and go to tube. I'm going to drag that behind the text on there, and then just go to slice and click on slice, and then it'll make it a tube rather than a what's the word I'm going to look up here. Alright, it is called a tube, but it'll make it sort of a wire or something, a rectangular wire, whatever. And then just go to inner radius and just play around with this till you've got like the right kind of settings. So I want it to be kind of big and relatively thin like that. So that's pretty much fine for me. And I'm going to click segments. You want all the way up, because the more segments the smoother it'll be. And then just rotate it round until you've got it kind of coming out round behind the text. And you kind of need a grey material for these, I think. Like that, that'll do. Just in the time essence of time. So it's grey with a specular on. The specular's default for me. It's basically those settings: 50, 20, 0, 0 and plastic. So after you've copied and pasted a few of these, you can put different colours on them if you want. Just put that one in there. Okay, so now I'm going to create a few spheres, and you want to increase the segments and decrease the radius until you've got the radius as you want it. So I'm going to copy and paste them till there's 3 of these, and just readjust them if you want so they're in the right place. And you want to put one material on for every single one. So I might go with, actually I'm going to go with white, blue and a grey. Okay, so there we go. And if you give that a quick render, just see how it looks. At the moment this hasn't got the right render settings either, which I just realised, so I'll probably put those on in a bit, just see how it looks without them. If it looks in the right kind of way. Goes a computer noise. Alright. So yeah, it's looking alright at the moment, nothing a bit of sharpen won't sort out. So I'm going to go to the render settings, and I'm going to add an ambient occlusion and colour correction and depth of field. I'm going to go to output and change it to 1920 by 1080 and save it as a PNG, QuickTime PNG or PNG, and click alpha channel. And again, just because of time, I'm going to just use the one that I've previously rendered. It's no different to this one. It's just a bit nicer because I've spent a bit more time on it with the bars and materials and everything else. Okay, so No, I don't want to do that. Then I'm going to go Photoshop, and you just want to open. Here it is. And I rendered these separately, so as you can see there's the text, and here's all the things behind it. Basically I just hid the text when I was rendering, because you kind of want to apply different effects to, and that allowed me to do that. So, right, if you just drag that behind and then move it up a bit. Okay, that'll do. And with the effects panel, what I did was, as you can see in some places, I'll have to zoom in a bit. Like here, I put a white overlay on, just to give it a kind of sketch effect. With graffiti, it doesn't want to be too clean and crisp. You want to kind of make it a rough yet high quality kind of feel. And paint drips, they're really easy to do. You just select paintbrush, any brush, the circular brush, size 1, and just click on the colour tab, select the colour, and then just do a drip like that, and it will blend in with the colour and become more outstanding when you reach a different shade. And behind the graffiti text, I made another layer of it. I added a motion blur, go to filter, blur, motion blur, and then I added a blur of 166, and then just lowered the opacity to about 30. So, but with the effects, you're going to add a drop shadow, which is pretty much all I added. Left the default settings on, and you can add an outer glow if you want, but I wouldn't recommend it. Drop shadow's fine. You can add a gradient overlay as well. If you go to gradient overlay, and obviously it's not going to happen there because I don't know. There we go. You add a gradient overlay. Still not going to work. Okie dokie. Well, if you do want to add a gradient overlay, then you can just go to gradient overlay and select the blending mode to soft light. But I'd lower the opacity of it because it still gives it a kind of cartoonish effect. But that's it for this tutorial, guys. It's pretty easy to create this 3D text here, and it's very effective too. So I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you later. Goodbye.